Welcome, friends, to the Pioneers of the Independent Networks. I'm your host, Ricky Blues. This is your co-host, Tim Walker. And friends, if you've joined us in the past, you know that we bring you all the characters, the matches, the promotions that populated the Mid-Atlantic independent wrestling scene from the 1980s to today. Now that's about 4 decades worth of archived material combined with a lot of new interviews that we've been doing, a lot of road time, and we bring that directly to you, the fans.
4 decades? That makes you seem pretty old, Ricky Blues.
I'm telling you, Tim, I'm feeling old. Have you noticed anything about this beard of mine?
I see a little bit of gray in that beard, actually.
A little bit of gray.
Wow.
Which is kind of good for the episode because really I'm working toward that holly jolly kind of guy, and that harkens to that one question that I always ask of you at the beginning of each episode. Tim, where are we coming from this week?
Well, we're coming from Santa's secret hideaway in the North Pole.
In the North Pole.
And it's cold up here.
It is.
See, I've got my sweater on and my...
Bundled up?
Bundled up here, yes. I got my scarf on and my sweater, and I'm kind of a little bit chilly. You can see me shivering maybe a little bit.
And look, with the magic of TV, a little bit of snow for you, a little bit of snow for me, a little bit of snow for our fans watching.
Gosh. Yeah, I think you got a little bit of that snow in your hair, too.
I know, it's all over the place. I'm seriously like 1 month away from being Santa.
I want to be here in a month. I want to see that, actually.
That's good stuff.
I'm waiting.
That is. Now, Tim, along with this great seasonal surprise that we're putting out there, I got a little bit of information to tell you.
I can't wait to hear this.
All right, so, folks, we want to thank you first and foremost, and that's why we're doing this episode as a little Christmas gift, as a little bit of thank you for all that you've done with us with the account here at Pioneers of the Independent Networks. Whether you know it or not, Tim, the demographics that we've hit, we are now in 11 different countries.
Wow.
And we have fans throughout every corner of the United States.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's not bad. We continue to develop that fan base because we're bringing them incredible information and archive material, like we said, over those 40 years.
Wow, thanks everybody for watching.
Absolutely. Thank you. Now, that brings me to this one suggestion for this week. Since it is close to the holidays.
Very close.
Very close. We're actually 2 days away.
Right around the corner.
Just around the corner. Tim, what is our topic going to be for this week?
Well, I think we want to talk about the tradition of wrestling on Christmas night.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Years ago, wrestling had a great tradition of having big cards on Christmas night.
That's right.
And I'll tell you what, I've been to a few myself, and I was amazed at how many people actually attended Christmas night shows.
Well, the good thing about a holiday event, especially Christmas time, was the promoters banked on getting a good gate. Again, this is a business about making money.
Right.
So you kind of roll it all together as kind of a big gift, surprise for the fans. You put it out there, and you draw in money.
Because there's a lot of money going around Christmas time, too.
It is.
A lot of people get cash.
And it's a joyous, festivus kind of occasion.
And after you've been at home all day with your family and friends, you're looking to do something different in the evening, I think.
Oh, absolutely. You get sick of the family. In a Christmas kind of way, I mean.
Yes. Yes, we're tired of you now. We're going to the wrestling matches.
Before one ends up in the kitchen.
That's a good idea, maybe. We need to have more wrestling matches on Christmas night, maybe.
It may keep some families together.
Yeah, there you go. I think it's a great night for wrestling. If you think about it, though, the movies usually do really good business on Christmas night, too.
Sure.
People are looking to be entertained.
They are. Now, with that being said, I'm going to ask you a question because I have my answer. When you look back at the history in wrestling, and we've talked about some events, what event at Christmas time stands out most in your mind?
In my mind, I would have to say the Christmas Chaos Tour that Smoky Mountain Wrestling did, because I was actually there on Christmas night in Knoxville, and I got to see it firsthand.
Tell us a little bit about that, Tim.
Well, the very first Christmas Chaos was in 1992 at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum. Smoky Mountain had been on television for about 8 or 9 months at that point and developed quite a following. And it was a really big card that evening. Paul Orndorff, Ronnie Garvin, of course the Rock and Roll Express, Jim Cornette, the regular cast of characters that was part of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Mm-hmm. But what a big night there at the Knoxville Coliseum. And tickets were discounted for $5. Wow. You could get admission into the Knoxville Coliseum that night to see the Christmas wrestling card.
Do you remember some of the other matches that were going on?
Wow, I think I remember Ronnie Garvin and Tim Horner teaming together against Paul Orndorff and the Dirty White Boy.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That was the big match that I remember that night. But of course, you always had the Rock and Roll Express.
Right.
The Heavenly Bodies, Jim Cornette, the Stud Stable, Jimmy Golden, Robert Fuller to round out the card. So you knew you were seeing an outstanding card that night on Christmas night.
Good quality, top to bottom.
A lot of big things would happen there at Christmas Chaos. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest feuds in Smoky Mountain Wrestling came to a big close on Christmas night in 1994.
Okay.
The Gangstas wrestled the Rock and Roll Express. And the Rock and Roll Express were managed by none other than Jim Cornette that night.
Oh, wow. What a reversal of fortunes.
Yes. It was a history
Yeah.
to see that match. And after that match, the Gangstas beat up Jim Cornette and bloodied him. One of the very few times in the history of Jim Cornette's career that he actually drew blood.
That he actually got color. Wow. What a conclusion to that.
It was quite the conclusion. The Rock and Roll Express won the match and won back the Smoky Mountain Tag Team belts. But then the Gangstas got a measure of revenge on Jim Cornette night.
Well, you know, Tim, you said something that's quite interesting. Not only was the giant Christmas holiday cards used to settle the scores, but that it was also, once one feud ended, there was a window to open the next feud. And it would set it up for cards throughout the year. Do you remember any of the Christmas Chaos that was used to set up upcoming feuds?
Well, I remember one Christmas Chaos where we had a very, very interesting Santa Claus.
Oh, this harkens to where I'm going to go later.
Yeah, we had a very interesting Santa Claus in Knoxville one year.
And who would that be?
That would be Kevin Sullivan.
I don't know if I'd want Kevin Sullivan delivering packages to me.
I don't think so. I definitely wouldn't. What a person to play Santa Claus. Talk about evil personified. And here's Kevin Sullivan dressed up as Santa Claus. The last person you'd want to see taking off that beard and cap, I think, would be Kevin Sullivan. And he was in a big feud at that point with Brian Lee. And that just continued that feud between Brian Lee and Kevin Sullivan. Well, when we talk about Christmas in wrestling, what do you think about?
Well, for me, I look at that thing that you just talked about, that Santa gimmick, for lack of better terms, and it brings me to one particular time. You started in 1992. I'm going to go a decade earlier.
Okay.
Early 1982.
Okay.
And I'm going to go just a little further south than what you did. I'm going to go down to Texas, in a territory when WCCW was still a territory of the NWA. Okay. And they were reaching that plateau, and I think in the back of Fritz's mind, he was using this platform to try and get out from under the NWA. But if you remember, when they did their Star Wars series, and wink, wink, a nod to the holiday movies that are out there now that we talked about, their Star Wars series, they did Holiday. They did Independence Star Wars. They did Labor Day Star Wars. Then they did Thanksgiving Star Wars, and it culminated with Christmas Star Wars.
Wow.
It actually started in 1981, but 81 was not the big jumping off point for them. Even though they used it as the platform to bring in the NWA champion to get their boys over, right?
Okay.
You get the rub off of bringing Flair in with the title, and all of a sudden, WCCW starts to get that national recognition because those boys from Texas are competing with the man, plain and simple. But the incidents that happened in 1982 will forever be ingrained in me. And I think it's a big part of wrestling history and lore when you talk about feuds. And that is Christmas Star Wars 1982 is the jumping off point for the Von Erich Freebird feud.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to take you back down memory lane. They brought in Flair. They put Kerry in a cage with Flair.
Kerry and Flair in the cage for the NWA.
For the NWA title.
Now you have to tell me that sold out Dallas.
Did it sell out? Christmas Star Wars sold that venue out. Each of from 82 to 87 at Reunion, and I think they did some other stuff at Sportatorium. 20,000 people each occasion. So you're making your gate. You're doing good with that. And in that cage match, they had a special guest referee, Michael Hayes, as a face. Outside, guarding the gate door, Terry Gordy. He was the gatekeeper.
This sounds like trouble to me.
It absolutely was. That's the point where Flair was cheating. Kerry wasn't having none of it. Michael Hayes wasn't having none of it. Michael Hayes becomes physical with Flair, knocks Flair down, tells Kerry to cover him. Kerry says no, stays face. Great angle, stays face. Then he won't cover Flair, so Hayes gets a little angry. And the next thing you know, Hayes is on Kerry. And that's the night that he put him in the cage, and he and Gordy slammed the door on Kerry's face.
Ooh, that's
Talk
right.
about a jump off for a feud. And that continued, and they would build shows throughout the year under that Star Wars banner up to the holiday banner. And in 83, again, the feud is just going back and forth. And there's loser leave town matches, and there's six-man tags with the six-man title, and there's individual matches. Michael Hayes, again, was involved in part of the feud with the Freebirds. And it was a tag match. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, around this time, it might have been the following year, but Lance Von Erich shows up, and we all know that was Fritz's biggest faux pas of ever creating that. But that was the night, December 25th, 1983, that Michael Hayes dons the Santa Claus suit.
Michael as Santa.
And Michael as Santa, and does the old celebrating as Santa, and when he gets his opportunity, he jumps Michael Von Erich. It was part of that tag match.
Oh,
and then that just
Michael.
continued. So my holiday feuds at Christmas that are my holiday memories of wrestling around Christmas time and on Christmas night was that feud that jumped off between the Von Erichs and the Freebirds that lasted a lifetime.
Wow, that did last years and years.
And it did.
And years.
And they used that Christmas Star Wars from that 82 to 87 time period to really flesh out the different levels of it. You know, shaving Buddy's head, with the hair cream, and King Parsons was introduced, and other people were in and out. Jake Roberts had a hand in there, and it was so many different levels to feed and get the rub off of folks as it was moving through. So it started feuds, it ended feuds, it helped the year build around to that time in Christmas, and the fans got their surprise, and they paid it back. $20,000 to the Reunion Center each Christmas for a show.
And it all started on Christmas night.
On Christmas night, 82. What a great feud. That is
a great feud. That instant of Terry Gordy slamming the door on Kerry Von Erich's head is etched in my memory. Something I won't ever forget.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most memorable things ever,
Yeah.
I think, in wrestling. And something that you still see today. Every once in a while, you'll see a cage match on television, and someone will slam the door on someone's head, all borrowed from 1982.
From that feud.
Wow. Boy, we hear a lot of excuses these days about wrestling not drawing. Either it's the summertime or it's the holidays, but I think that's just an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a product which people want to see, they'll come out. It doesn't matter if it's summertime. Think about the Great American Bash Tour over the summer, how well it drew. People wanted to see those matches. And Christmas night, it could be a great draw. It's a proven fact. Wrestling fans will come out on Christmas night if you give them something they want to see.
Well, and think about this. We didn't even address this topic. Thanksgiving night. We kind of glazed over that.
We did.
That was Starrcade. That was the end of the feuds in Starrcade and the beginning of the new ones for the upcoming year.
Right.
Holiday time is a time to make money.
I agree with you on that. There's a lot of money going out as gifts,
Yeah.
and a lot of money that could come into the box office. I think it's a great tradition. I think it's a shame that's kind of fallen by the wayside, because I always had a lot of fun on my trips to Knoxville to see the Christmas cards, and they were always very special. And everyone kind of was in the Christmas spirit. The promotions would get sponsors,
Right.
and they would give out gifts to people and low ticket prices. It just seems to me like that's the perfect marriage, the holidays and wrestling.
But being that this is the holidays and Santa has stopped by the pin offices and dropped a present or two off for each of us. Now, we don't know who they were actually from.
I think some of them
What?
have some notes on them.
They do. So what do we have in Santa's bag that he left us?
Well, here's something that's been left here. I think this is for you.
Huh.
Looks like some Hershey's Kisses.
Bag of Hershey's
There's
Kisses.
a little note on here.
What's that note say?
It says, to Ricky Blues, from Adrian Hall.
Oh, he's still, after all these years, trying to deliver a kiss to me.
Kisses to you. Isn't that nice? And it says XOXO. What's that mean?
Well, either he's dyslexic and likes ox, or he's sending out hugs and kisses.
Wow.
Tip my hat to you, Adrian Hall. Thank you for the gift. After all these years, more kisses than I can deal with.
Milk chocolate yet? Wow, lucky you.
There's a match or two that gave me his finisher, the kiss before dying, but now, 20 years later, I'm still getting kisses.
I think these are better.
I think so too. These are a lot less devastating.
Yes, I can just tell. Gifts from the heart.
Now, Tim, there's one back there with your name on it.
Oh my, I'm afraid to open this.
You should never be afraid when Santa delivers something.
Well, I hope it's Santa, not Kevin Sullivan. It says Tim W.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a bow on it and everything here. Wow. Are you sure that this is Santa and not Kevin Sullivan Santa?
I think that's from Santa.
And not Michael Hayes?
Not Michael Hayes, not Kevin Sullivan.
I'm kind of excited here. What is this?
Ooh, I know what that is.
Oh, wow. This does look like it could be from Michael Hayes, though.
Yes.
Look at this.
Doesn't say Bad Street.
No, but it very well could.
Close to Bourbon Street.
It could lead to Bad Street, I think.
I
Look
think
at
that says
this.
on there, from Ricky Blues for all those late night, long distance road trips.
Oh my gosh. Cherry vodka. Coconut vodka. Wow. Ricky Blues. Thank you. Some
Merry
holiday
Christmas.
cheer.
Sprinkle a little bit of holiday cheer on both of us.
Yeah.
Through the magic of Hollywood.
Well, thank you.
And not even a Hollywood Bob Star at that.
Thank you very much.
Much
What
welcome.
else is back here? Oh my goodness. More gifts, ladies and gentlemen. This one, it says to Ricky Blues. But I don't know who it's from. There's no from.
There's no from. It's got to be a Santa.
Wow.
Let's take a look here.
I can't wait to see what this says. Or what this is.
This has got to be something. What? Ames
my
Classic.
goodness.
Full cut briefs.
Wow. Santa's something.
Santa must have known that I ate some of those Hershey Kisses and didn't make it where I needed to make it. These are also for those long, late night road trips.
Santa has quite a sense of humor.
Santa's over big at this joint.
Santa. Oh my goodness. Here's something from me to you.
Oh, from Tim, season's greetings to Ricky from Tim. This is heartfelt and warming, I can tell.
Are you afraid to open this one up?
After you hit me with underwear.
here's something that might be a little bit more appropriate.
Ah, this is absolutely appropriate. What an incredible gift. You know, I'm a historian, librarian when it comes to the wrestling world.
You know a lot about wrestling books.
I do. Is wrestling fixed? I didn't know it was broken. I love it. That is awesome stuff.
Bill Apter's
This is Bill Apter's new book. Timothy A. Walker, what a good man you are to see fit to bring a historian like me some archive material like this.
Yeah, I thought that would be
Merry
a good
Christmas,
gift.
my brother.
Yep,
thank you so kindly. Thank you, Bill Apter. Hall of Fame class 2011, you and I. Look at that. You read my book, now I'm reading yours.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is good stuff.
I certainly want to wish everyone out there a very Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching week in and week out. I promise not to sing on this episode. I know I'm full of holiday cheer and a little bit of vodka, but I will not sing. You don't want to hear me sing. That is the last thing anybody wants to hear is me singing Christmas songs.
Now my interest is piqued. I got all this holly, garland, and these pictures of these great folks around with a little bit of Frosty and a Santa and even a Nutcracker. I think we need it. What do you think? What's that, fans? What's that? You do? I'd like to hear. Yeah. What song will you be singing?
Oh, you're going to make me sing?
I'm not going to make you. I'm going to ask you, and I'll give you a kiss.
Oh!
A Hershey kiss.
Okay.
From Adrian.
Thank you, Adrian. All right, I'll give it a try.
Let's hear what you got.
Boy, this is my favorite part of my favorite Christmas song. I'm not going to try and sing the whole song, but I will try and sing part of it.
Go ahead, because then I have an anecdote for you.
La 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 la. That's my favorite part. The la-las.
People out there don't realize how closely Christmas songs are related to the wrestling business. You know how I can tell?
Really? How?
You ever hear that song, Winter Wonderland?
I think so.
That line, and you can do the job when you're in town?
Oh, yes.
That's a wrestling song
Oh,
for holidays.
I didn't even realize that. Wow. I still like my la-las better.
Okay.
And maybe if it does snow, we'll be able to film some of those snowball fights and put them on.
Well,
that would be good.
There's a big field out here at the pin offices, and I think that would be we grab all of our assistants together, our light people, our cameraman, our sound guy, a couple of our assistants, you and I. We'll get out there and have ourselves an old-fashioned slobber knocker.
Well, maybe I'll get myself a tag team partner.
Oh yeah? Who could that be?
Yeah, I think I'm going to recruit Amber as my tag team partner in a snowball battle against you.
Oh man, your nemesis in life, the elf on the shelf, Amber.
Don't turn on me, Amber. We're partners.
She'll do the heel
tag
switch.
partners.
She'll do the heel switch. I know.
We're tag partners. Remember, we're a team.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for joining us. We're hoping that you join us again in a day when we present to you our regularly scheduled episode. But until then, we're taking you along this not so snow-filled, but holiday-filled, full of joy stroll down Concussion Lane.
Merry Christmas.
Bloomers. Size 54. He gets me bloomers.
54.
Size 54.
Santa? What's up with Santa?
I'm nothing bigger than a 48.